Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
How are you?
Good, thank you. So good to meet you.
Likewise, likewise.
And
Wow.
the amazing tech team. Hi, tech team.
Hi, Paule. It's so good to meet you.
Oh, likewise. What a treat.
We've been stalking you all week, like for the past month, and we're starstruck right now. So
Oh, well, I'm overwhelmed. So it's like that makes all of us.
Wow.
Where are you all?
sorry, please come again.
Where are you? Because you all must be in different places.
Yes. So we're all in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm at home in my office.
I'm in Harare. I'm at a friend's house.
Yeah.
Who is tech team Kiwan. Otherwise,
And are you all able to work and things at the moment? Is everything normal or is it very different at the moment?
I'm only working on solar at the moment, renewable energy.
Yeah.
In terms of lighting, no, nothing.
Because we're still, they think our theatres are going to be closed until next year now.
Why?
Because of the pandemic, because of COVID-19.
Is it still as bad? I thought it was going down.
It's gone down a lot, but and people can go to pubs and they can do things like that, but they're saying that not to theatres. We can do outdoor events, but everybody has to be 2.5 meters apart. So it's crazy. You can't do anything like that.
But how do we survive? I mean, especially for freelancers,
That's why I'm spending all my days not being a lighting designer, but shouting at the government. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
But for me, I think because I started doing solar about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's how I've been able to survive, just installing solars and doing maintenance for people and stuff. But otherwise, theater, no. No. But I have a festival that I'm doing in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's called Shoko Festival. It's about spoken word, poetry, hip hop artists, and I think that they also have graffiti. Is it?
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'm gonna ask for ideas on how to light and how to design for it, because normally we have like truss and stage, and because it's an outdoor thing. But this year they were saying that they wanted to be different in the sense that we don't want to have the truss. We're going to be doing performances in the junkyards.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
I know. So I'll send some of the pictures, and you can just look through and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
On how I can light that, And
why do they want to move on from the trust and things like that? Because that feels too much.
Well, they were saying that because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
So the theme for this year is Phoenix.
Okay.
And I was saying, because of what's happening, we wanted to try and relate to what's happening at the moment. So it's for me, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult because they're saying they want it to be a little bit abstract. So you can't exactly see the performer, but then just bring life in the junk and just make it look beautiful and let it speak to the audience.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be streaming live on Facebook, and yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I think so, but I've never done anything of that sort before. Have I? No.
but everything's new, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm just really happy that I get to do something this year. I haven't done any shows this year at all.
Really?
All my shows were cancelled. At first they were postponed and then they were cancelled.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Me too. I was working in Germany in March, and then everything shut in Germany, and I came home and everything shut here. And as you say, everybody said it was postponed, and now it's clear everything's
cancelled.
postponed.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah, but we'll
Hey,
see.
ladies, could I please jump in for 2 seconds and just introduce myself formally? So I am Wadzanai Churiri, and I'm going to be hosting in a way, like I'm just going to be supporting the two of you as you go through the conversation today, just making sure that we stick to time, making sure that our audience as well is well looked after, just chatting with people that might have inquiries and so on. And so we're about to start in about 7 minutes. And the way that the conversation goes, I'm sure Paule, Mildred had spoken to you before, that there'll be some opening remarks from Mildred, and then like a conversation would happen afterwards. So I think Paule is going to be having a presentation, and during that, yeah, and then during that presentation, so do you need presentation rights, like to be able to share your screen?
I need screen sharing, please.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Wadzanai.
What's the name?
Yes.
Brilliant, thank you.
I don't know if I can allow you to share without allowing everyone to share.
I think if you go to share, the right click on the share screen, you should have an option. Or if you go to, can you do it on participants?
All participants. Okay, it says all participants. I can either allow all participants to share or just myself. So I will just, okay, I'll just allow all participants to share, and hopefully they won't know that they can.
You won't tell if you don't.
Yes, so let me allow. Oh, come on. Okay, so I've enabled it. Could you just try?
Let me just check that. So how's that?
Yes, so we can see.
And that. No, back.
Could you just share it again? I want to see if I can share at the same time. Okay, I think I have a way of fixing this. Sorry. One participant can share at a time.
Do you want me to stop sharing?
Just stop sharing for a second.
Okay.
Right. So I've set it that only one participant can share at a time, and only I can interrupt your presentation. So at least, so just try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I would try to I'm the only one who can interrupt this. So this is safe because then no one else can share. So during, at the beginning, I'm just going to give some housekeeping rules to everyone who attends, and invite them to send their questions as your conversation will be going. And so I will know who is ready to ask a question when you open up to the floor. And then I will then just, let you know who actually would like to facilitate the whole conversation. And yeah, just keeping time, letting people in and out, and that's basically my role. So I wish you both the best. And yeah, and I'm going to be sitting here watching. So please, I know that there have been some reports of people trolling Zoom meetings as well. I'm going to be doing my best to make sure that we don't have people like that, and that I put them in the waiting room as quickly as possible, like just kick them out of the Zoom meeting as quickly as I can. But please bear with me if something like that happens and I don't see it, just like drop it in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself. And
okay, no worries.
wants to go. Yeah.
Wait, so you're gonna give the house rules, and then I introduced Paule, and then she gives a presentation for 20 minutes, is it?
Yeah.
And then do I ask the questions first, or is after the?
It's after the presentation.
No, I mean, do I go first before the students start asking questions, or do I go after?
Just have a good conversation. So depending on the presentation, you most likely will have some follow-up questions to that, and then you can open up to the floor so that everyone, like, I mean, after you've asked a question and you've set the tone for the conversation, it will become easier for some of our students to then jump into it. So I would recommend that you ask first, but just bear in mind the time, so you have like a lot of control over that.
I always go on.
Yeah, so as soon as you ask a question, just make sure that your conversation doesn't go off, keeping time from the other students as well. So yeah.
Can you just prompt me?
Okay, yes. So I will use my reactions. If I upload,
I have like 20 questions for Paule already, and
okay, if I upload, as you can see on my screen there, if I send an applause, it means that you need to finish up what you've been talking about. So this is the applause. And when I would like you to actually stop and move on to the next thing, I will send a thumbs up. So thumbs up means time's up, and an applause means that
wrap it up. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
My presentation, I'll talk a bit about my work, and I've just got lots of pictures to show and to chat a bit about the things that interest me about lighting. So it's very relaxed. It's not like formal or
okay.
I just wanted to keep it interesting.
Great, it fits in perfectly. So yeah.
Great. Okay.
So in a minute we should be starting then. Okay, and I'm muting myself so I can be ready to admit people that come through to the waiting room.
What did I do? What did I do?
I just want to try and do something on the side.
I love the way that you're jumping from one screen to another. It's like something from a comedy movie. It's brilliant.
I'm just going to try and send you a chat. Then we'll go down the side, so that if something happens, then I can tell you what's going on.
Okay, great, thank you. This is all my technical crew.
We were used to be good at lighting, and now we're good at Zoom, and you know, I've learned so many new skills in the last few months. Crazy.
It's not easy.
No.
The first one with Patrick, I was just because it was the first time, and I didn't know what to do, and just it was crazy.
He really enjoyed it though.
I enjoyed it myself, you know, but it was the first time for me, and it was hard. It was really I really enjoyed it.
He tells such a good story, doesn't he?
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is. He's brilliant. He's really brilliant.
He's amazing. So I met him in 2012.
Okay, where did you meet him?
Well, I was watching a DVD, Michael Jackson's "This Is It." So then I was just blown away. The lighting in that thing was crazy, you know. So I looked him up, and I saw more of his work, and I thought, wow, this guy, he is something else. And I wrote him an email. That was strange, but I just felt I had to pour out my heart. Like I was.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, when you don't have people to actually say, this is what I'm experiencing, and then you think they won't understand what you're talking about. You know, they won't really relate to, So I sent him an email and I said, I'm really inspired. And really, I was inspired. You know, I thought, I'd never seen so many lights in one venue in my life.
Yeah. Ever.
You know, and I thought, well, if this is a rehearsal, if this guy lived long enough to do the actual show, what was it going to look like?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, so that's how we started off, and we just started chatting and back and forth, and he's really great and very encouraging.
Yeah, he's really, really supportive. He's really,
Yeah,
really like that.
yeah, we don't get people like that a lot.
No.
Yeah. Oh, someone is asking for. Could you please send Mike link to the? I'll do it. I can't do it actually. Wazi, she's on mute. Oops.
Okay, we should have been starting now, but I'm still waiting for people to log on and then I'll just admit them. So we'll give it another 5 minutes.
I have Mike asking for the Zoom ID. He says he lost it somehow. Are you able to send it to him, Mike Foster?
I can send it to you.
I can't access my WhatsApp.
I can send it to your
Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I think that's done. Seven hours ago. Oof. Can we start? No way?
We can start shortly. I was actually just checking my updates and I'm seeing that the Zoll connection has just gone down in the whole country. And I know that most people are on that connection. So this might affect attendance a lot. So I'm just trying to give it 5 more minutes to see if it's affected our meeting.
Don't forget that I'm not so busy at the moment. So if you need to reschedule so people can come, I'm really happy to do that. It would be a shame not to include people.
Yeah. Let me just see how it's looking. Because usually by now we have already 35 people coming in. So I'm trying to check if there's something wrong. Okay, we've got a few people in.
Yeah, Mike saying he's having trouble looking in. Okie dokie.
Hey Mildred, I'm just looking at the report right now.
Yeah.
The connection is down in most parts of Harare. And so, because I'm trying to understand why we don't have all our students waiting. So Paule is just offered to reschedule if we don't have all our students coming in. We have a few. I think they're supported by a different provider. So
Okay.
would you like to continue with a recorded session, or do you think that we should wait a little bit longer and see if this affects our meeting? What do you think the best way forward would be?
I think maybe we should reschedule so
Yeah,
that we have
it
the
would
students.
it would seem a shame, wouldn't it, to do it
Yeah,
and people can't
definitely,
be here.
definitely.
Mhm.
So for when? Which days okay for you?
We could do the same time next week.
Okay.
Would that be any, or when would be good for you, Mildred? When suits your students? And
I don't know, what's it?
Okay, so my people.
18th or the 20th?
Okay, so my proposal would be maybe let's have a conversation about it outside of the call and reorganize everything. We have people coming in slowly, they're trickling in, and I'm worried that it might not be as consistent as our last conversations. So let's come out of it, and then maybe Paule, myself, and Mildred, we can have a conversation about it and see how we can reschedule. Because I can see that I think we only have 1/3 of our usual attendance, and
Okay.
yeah, it's better to have a live one because the interaction is usually really great for the students. And so we could continue with a recorded one, uh, but it won't be as fun, you know? So
Yeah.
if you're happy with it, Paule, I think we would rather reschedule.
I'm very happy to do whatever works best for you. So if it would be better to do it live, I'm more than happy to find another date.
Great, great. That would work perfectly for us. Okay, so thank you so much to everyone who is here. My name is Wadzanai. I would have introduced myself. I am tech team for Phenomenal for Mildred's masterclass. And yeah, I would have been now introducing the ground rules. And we have Paule here, so maybe Paule can just say hi to those that had come. Because we're meeting our woman crush right now, right?
Yes.
Our lighting bay. So
You're
we're so happy
powerful.
to meet you. And so yeah, I see Therese saying hi. She's giving a round of applause. There's Kimberly, there's Stephanie, and Tanatswa and Gabriella. You've met the rest of us, and Spike as well. Spike was our speaker for the last session. So I think, yeah, you can say hello.
Hi there.
Yeah. And then we can, so guys, we're going to be, but people are now coming in. I wonder if we should continue. Like people are trickling in really slowly.
I think let's continue. I don't know, Paule, what do you think?
Getting
Whatever
confusing.
works for you, whatever works for you. I'm very.
If they're coming in, you might as well. I mean, you can always come back. You're welcome to come back as many times as you like. Like you're my woman crush now.
All right. No, I think we can say hello to everyone that's here. Hi, Munya. Hi, Carrie. Olai. Tanatswa. So we actually, Munyaradz is sending a message saying, please continue. We actually are going to be rescheduling to everyone that's here right now. A lot of the participants were not able to join us. So we thank you so much for those that are actually here. There's some connection challenges for the rest of the participants. So Paule has been very kind to move it to a date to be later communicated, because we're going to discuss it soon after this call. So we're also going to write to all our participants who are here. If we don't already have your email, please do send it directly to Phenomenal Solutions. Yeah, I see they're responding, because I get to see all the chats privately,
Okay.
but yeah, so everyone says that's okay. Most people are saying that's okay, and we'll write to you. So if we don't have your email, please do send it to our Facebook page inbox or to our email if you have it. That's phenomenalsolutionszw@gmail.com. Okay, phenomenalsolutionszw@gmail.com. So please do write to us, and we will let you know when the next session is going to be. And so for now, we would say bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, Paule.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
so just hang on. Let me actually just, if everyone else could leave, right? I will remove everyone else. And then we can talk about the next session.
quite nice because I can ask some questions as well, which is great. It's a kind of warm up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So who are the students normally, Mildred? Who's normally attending? Are these people you're teaching, or lots of different people?
Initially, it was meant to be for the people that I'm teaching. But I think we've had designers from Norway, from the States, and also Australia, that were also interested in being part of the masterclass.
Wow.
So I just opened it up for everyone to, whoever's interested in lighting can join now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but most of my students, they never, they don't have data or internet connection.
Yeah.
That's why we always request to record the session so we can then show it to them afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Tanta's still here. What's the name?
I'm trying to remove her, and for some reason, I'm failing to do so. Tanatwa, is it possible for you to leave the meeting? I think she's gone now. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only got 3 people.
Tanatwa is actually one of my students.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But you know, for me, it's different. I was just going through your profile and just reading as much as I could about you and your work. You went to school for lighting. You actually started this.
No, I have a drama degree. I have a literature degree.
The English one, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't study lighting.
Okay, but you did, you said you studied lighting in rock and roll.
Yeah, I served an apprenticeship, so I was a rigger, and so I worked in rock and roll, and I was interested in, and asked lots of questions, and, I'd get to light the support band and things like that. So yeah, I knew Patrick in those days.
Wow.
When I was a baby, yeah.
Known him that long?
Yeah, 100 years.
Wow. Wow. So then you went into theater.
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah.
How was the transition from?
Well, it was really interesting because the reason I changed really was that I really loved rock and roll and I was having an amazing time, but in design terms, it was just lots of lighting, and it was very everything was very quick and fast moving, and I liked that. But then I started working because I worked as a rigger, I would get to do other work, and I went and worked with some experimental theatre companies. And I was like, my goodness, everyone's talking about ideas. It's not just lights and, you know, rig as many lights and as much truss and like take it down, put it up, you know, all of that.
Quickly, yeah.
It was much more people sort of talking about, oh, what does that mean? And I sort of, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So you can do lighting, but it can have ideas and be more considered. And yeah, so I realized that was much more suited to who I was.
Wow.
But I don't think my work would be, I've got, you know, a lot of people think for theatre and opera, my work's quite extreme. And I think that's because I started in rock and roll. You know, I was never frightened to sort of make a statement. Yeah.
And what lights were you? And what lights?
I just had to be.
He's the crazy one in the gym. And what lights were you using then? Parkans?
Yeah, Parkans. Still my favorite light. Still my totally favorite.
Amazing. I love the texture of that light.
You can do anything with a Parkan.
Yes, I said to Patrick, I mean, I see all of your events, you're using all these amazing moving heads and stuff, but I'm like a traditional baby. I love my Fresnels, I love my cantatas, you know, it's amazing what you can do with those lights.
And also that whole beautiful thing about tungsten and how a Parkan changes, you know, from 10% to 20%. And how
I'm going to become a lighting engineer after this. Like, I'm going to be a lighting designer. Like, yes, I can do this. I know all these things.
But how is it that you have accomplished so much in a male industry?
So have you.
I mean, I've met a few women in Zimbabwe. We have this festival, or we had this festival called Harare. What is it called? Haifa.
Harare International Festival of the Arts.
It's like the biggest festival in Southern Africa.
Yeah.
You know, I've met. So what they do, because we don't have many lighting designers, especially for theatre in Zimbabwe, so they bring in people from South Africa and I think in the UK as well. But your level is just like you're there. Like, how do you do that? Like everyone else is here and you're up there. I'm like, how?
I've just been really lucky. You know, it's like, and I really love my job. I really,
wow.
and nobody showed me how to do it. So I think that's why I really love the idea of talking to your students, because I think many people now go to school and study lighting and they kind of go, oh, I've been taught how to do it. You know, but there is no how to. It's just about ideas, isn't it? And just playing and being,
and how you feel about it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you mainly do theatre or festivals or music or a big mixture?
I started off in theatre. We have, believe me, we have one functioning theatre in Zimbabwe. It's called Rips Theatre. So I started off there, and I think I was there for about 4 years. And then I got a point where I felt like I'd hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
I was just hungry for more, and but they wouldn't allow you to tear down. I love tearing stuff down. And just if it's LX1 to the psych at the back, I want to take everything down and restart. And so they wouldn't allow you to do stuff like that, you know.
They said there's one way to do it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So you can have one design the entire year for different shows in the same theatre. So I thought I was suffocating. I couldn't breathe, you know. So I left, but it's not easy still. I don't even know how. I think what you were saying about wanting more, you know, I just went out there and I just threw myself in the deep end and said, you know what? And then so from there, I went into doing festivals.
Yeah.
And then in 2011, I went into clubs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I was saying to Patrick, I've used, I think for me, the most fancy light that I've used is a Mark III series.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's for me.
Big,
That's the
aren't they?
we have 4. They're enormous. They're big. Eh? We have 4 in Zimbabwe. Can you imagine the whole country? My boss bought 4 of those, and then he bought 7 575.
Yeah. So do you work for a company, Mildred?
No, well, I work for myself.
She is the company. She has a whole company for herself now.
I'm Phenomenal. I was forced to start Phenomenal mostly, I think, for myself, because I felt like I didn't want to be put in a box.
Yeah.
So when I work for someone else, I'm told you can't do this, you can't do that, and also because I'm a woman, you know, it's always, you find yourself in these places where you have to compromise either your ideas or your creativeness because you want the job, and you know, so yeah, that's why I launched Phenomenal Lighting and Power Solutions, 2009. It's been an interesting journey, you know. And now I'm just trying to inspire more girls, because I mean, I've been doing this 16 years and I'm still the only female at my level. I haven't even accomplished that much, really. Only that I'm stubborn, and I just keep pushing and pushing boundaries and thinking, you know, I think it's possible. I think it can be done. You know, like now I want to build a theater, my own theater. I don't even know how I'm going to do that, but I would love to have a place where I can do whatever. I can, you know, I can have students learn how to do it. Because then I was thinking, okay, so these girls that I'm training or I'm grooming for lighting, once they know the skills of how to do it, they need the jobs.
Yeah.
You can't just then give them the skills and then they can't work and earn money off it.
Yeah.
So the idea of the theater then came to mind, that if I have a theater, it means I can have events or whatever, and they can run the shows. I mean, I'm 36 now. I think and in 10 years' time, I don't want to be climbing ladders and running with cables. But I know you don't do that. I know you just sit there. I was watching your was it an interview? We were talking about the Swan.
Oh, Swan Lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just looking, I'm like, wow, she looks so cool. Like, you're just sitting there like, oh, then I did this and then I did that. And then, you know, I would like for the girls to be more involved and get work and make money off it. I mean, for me, it's all that I do. I just do lighting. That's all that I do.
That's amazing. It is amazing though, because it's like you're saying it's not only about lighting, it's about the whole way that things are made and the whole creative process. And so you've got to change everything. It's not only about encouraging young women, it's also about making people aware of the possibility of what they can do and giving them opportunities. And there are no opportunities, so you're making them. That's just insane and brilliant.
Thank you. It's but it's always crazy, you know, when you think about. I was going through your profile, and I was thinking, how am I even talking to this woman? She's brilliant. You've been all the awards and the nominations, and you're even an RDI.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, but you know what's funny, Mildred, is part of that is because at the moment they went, oh, wait a minute, there's a woman who does this job. Wow, well, we better acknowledge that, because I was the only woman they could think of. Because guess what?
You're the only woman who's achieved that so far in
yeah.
UK.
It feels like it's changing now. It feels finally like, you know, with the drama schools, it feels like there are some really brilliant young women coming through now. But I mean, I'm 55, and like you, I'm very stubborn. And I just
pays off. I think that one pays off.
When you just
ladies, sorry, I want to just jump in and ask something before I also leave. I'm going to leave because I want to sort of chase after everyone who was supposed to come and make sure I let everyone know. But the most important thing I want to talk about are, well, now there are two things. As I was listening to your conversation, I really thought of an idea to actually use parts of the footage, not all of it, to promote it with our students as well, to say, actually, we had a brief conversation and here's what it's looking like and something to look forward to at the meeting that we actually have. So I hope you'll allow me to use that, because I know that it wasn't the main thing that we had talked about. So thanks, Paule just gave me a thumbs up. I hope Mildred will also give me a thumbs up. And then I will leave, and you can stay and have a chat if you still want to. But I'd like to know when we think we could have the next meeting. So I'm Wadzi. Yes, I had mentioned I'm Wadzi when we were in the meeting, and I didn't get to talk about myself a lot more. I'm actually a spoken word artist, and I'm also like an events planner and a communications person. So also a friend of Mildred in the industry. And so I'm joining her on the Phenomenal Lighting Masterclass journey that's digital. And so this is why I'm here. And so I keep the dates together and things going smoothly. So I just need a date. I'm happy to have you continue with the conversation. And so maybe if we propose, Mildred, I don't know if we can say next Sunday at the same time, because we didn't have a class scheduled for next Sunday, next same time, right?
Yes, yes. Our next class is on the 26th. So.
Or we could, I mean, in many ways, I can do any date you like at the moment, Mildred, because my time is very flexible. And as long as I know, so if you'd rather use a date that you already have, or if there's a date that you go, actually, it would be great to do it in October, or just tell me what works for you guys, because I have no idea of your needs and wants.
Okay, so would you allow it if we actually, sorry, you can actually go, Mildred. Sorry.
No, I was going to say I haven't heard from Eric about the 26th.
Okay, so would you be okay with it if we wrote to you after your conversation today? Okay, so in that case, I'll speak to you, Mildred, and we can look at our calendar and our considerations, and I can also get to the bottom of today's disruption, find out, you know, what caused it and if it would happen again, to make sure that the date that we choose is fine, because I know that they're doing a rebrand and I think it might have been a scheduled interruption. So we'll talk later, Mildred.
Yeah.
Okay, great. It was so good meeting you, Paule. I'm meeting so many cool people because of the lighting masterclass. And from me personally, as an artist, and also just as an art lover, I notice art, and I mean, I notice light. And that's how I noticed Mildred many years ago when she was lighting up a concert that I was attending. And our friendship grew from there. So for me, attending the masterclass as just an artist, you know, like I'm not a person that handles light, is giving me so much perspective on how, you know, that creative process goes for the artists that don't speak at a show or at a theater, you know. So this is really great for me. I look forward to your presentation, and I'm also very much inspired by both of you breaking into a male-dominated industry and just like taking over territories, you know. It's so cool. Like, I don't know how, like, I can't wait to actually just share a picture of me, like, next to Paule, like, hey, guys, that was me. I cannot wait. So I'm really psyched for the next one. It's not just being tech right now. It's also learning a lot. And so, Paule, just so you know, there will be some artists in your class as well who are just listening to that process, because sometimes we actually don't relate so well with lighting designers
Yeah.
because we don't understand what's going on the other side. And so understanding this and how our art meets, you know, on the stage is really a great experience for us as well. So looking forward to the next one. And yeah, you guys have a great conversation for today.
Take care, lovely. Really good to meet
All right,
you.
cheers.
See you
Good
soon.
to meet you too. Mildred, I've made you the host, so everything's cool. Okay, bye.
I can't believe you're leaving.
I can't believe it either, but like my phone keeps buzzing because people are trying to understand what's going on. So I want to attend to that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
cool.
Thanks,
So
Wajin.
cheers. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.